The Silencer, issue 15. So is it Ray's her like kind of brother?
Yeah.
I
Who was?
actually really like the idea of there being like a no sight equivalent of her.
I do as well. I thought the way it was introduced was really sudden. Like, yeah, we heard about him before, and it's just, oh, he's here now.
I thought it worked. The idea that we don't see him and then he sort of fades in because he's been invisible. I like that.
Fair
Part
enough.
of my favorite panel of the whole book is when they're standing side by side and she goes shh and everything goes quiet,
And
but
he's got his guns crossed and he's phasing out.
he's phasing out. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice panel.
It
So
was, yeah.
they're on this boat, hunting down. It's one of the labs that do experiments and kids kind of like happen to them.
Yeah.
And we get this almost alien resurrection scene of them finding all these like failed experiments that are kind of alive but not really, except the one
So,
girl they get to who's Smoke, who actually has powers and is still very capable of fighting back.
yeah.
Also,
And
some kind of minor form of telepathy coming from her as well.
it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because she like becomes like a smoke sort of fog and passes like phases through them, and as she does that, gets a lot of their memories, right?
Yeah.
Am I reading that right? I think that was how I interpreted how it was happening.
At the very least, gets their intentions because she understands why she's there.
Yeah.
Maybe empath would be closer to what we're talking about.
Maybe. I think the way that she's talking about the family at the end felt a little bit too specific.
It's a shame that the brother did get killed because I did actually kind of like him being around. Just in
Yeah,
terms of
me too.
his look and his powers. But hey ho. So meanwhile, the husband and son back at home thinking she's dead, and he's trying to dig up this thing that he's found in the garden. Turns out it's part of a security system, and the guys show up, and they end up macing him because he won't let them go because
Yeah.
he's demanding answers. And they basically say, "Hey, look, there's stuff about you don't know. Don't ask. You're better off
Just
not
leave it
knowing."
as it is. Yeah.
Yeah, which obviously he's not happy about because he's obviously
'Cause it
determined
was,
to know.
yeah, it's his wife, and he's like, shit, she's dead, and I didn't know her.
Yeah, I want to know everything about my wife and about where she came from and about all this sort of shit she was into.
Yeah.
Like this thing, because he knows enough that this is state of the art. He's like, how could she afford this? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
All these questions that are naturally making him very curious. So that's really cool. And then Smoke's kind of an interesting villain in that, like, she's sympathetic in that she's kind of, an experimented on person, kind of like they are.
Yeah.
And she doesn't kill Honor because of that, because she kind of relates to her a little bit, and because she's the reason why she can escape, because Honor came in and broke open everything. But it ends with her saying she wants to really essentially take over Honor's life, and she's going to go and find her family. So we end with her leaving off, and Honor kind of like holding her hand out, going no.
Yeah. This is it's gonna be interesting stuff.
Because Honor, keep in mind, is still having to pretend that she's completely forgotten about her life.
It is, and now she's gonna have to kind of admit that to save her family, right?
Yeah.
And but we're coming towards the end of the book now, right?
Issue 18 is the last one, yeah. So we got three more.
Three more. So this last bit will be the ending of the book, which is sad, but I mean, it's a logical place for it to go out on. With her, getting back with her family, presumably.
Yeah, no, that'll be a fine ending, and obviously I hope we get more of her in some capacity, but at
Yeah, me
least
too.
right now, dig in the book a lot, and I think this issue continued the streak of just
Been really solid and great action sequences.
yeah. It was like it went up at one point, and it's just stayed up to where it went to the whole time.
Yeah, it didn't go back down, but it hasn't been climbing anymore either.
Yeah, it's just really, really solid. The action sequences look great. I think it's because her powers are unique amongst other comic characters, and it's basically John Wick action sequences with this added silence power. But her suit has a lot of like lines in it, so she tends to look very, I don't know, nimble and high tech at the same time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A lot of gymnastics going on in
This
this
is
suit.
prime for a movie adaptation. Like you say, just John Wick style, a great action director, and just do it.
I can see that. And then the developments are interesting as well. So, looking forward. I did have fun with all the Brother stuff. It's a shame that he's dead already, but
Yeah.
But hey, what are you giving Silencer issue 15?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah, I can't really argue, to be honest. 8.
Glad you agree.